Hello, good day, beautiful people. I am the Inspirational Lady Noble 365 Tarot. Welcome to my channel. I greatly appreciate you being here. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. I trust you will love this vibe. And everything you need to know about me is in the description below. This will be past, present, or future. You or someone around you. So take the residence and leave the rest for someone else. This is a general read. This is not a personal read. If you like a personal read, check out the description below. And I'll be happy to assist you with doing so. Remember that tarot is a tool. It is not the final rule. It is a good idea to have an empty cup when you are on Lady Noble's channel and you really want to see what's up. Okay? Collective, we're starting off with Meets Divine Motherhood. It says the mother goddess nurtures and protects all her children. The mother goddess nurtures and protects all of her children. So with this energy here, this could be the energy of you being overprotective of your children. You could be a parental figure yourself, okay? If you're not, you could also be someone who's a godparent, or maybe you have children or siblings, okay? Maybe you have children or siblings that you have adopted, okay? Everyone's situation is different. And so you could be someone who also have had someone new come into your life. Doesn't matter if you're an adult or what age you are. And they give off that mother-like energy, very nurturing, very caring. Okay, this could be a godparent as well. And so I'm picking up collective, you're in the energy, male or female, okay? Because this could be a feminine and, a masculine in their feminine energy as well. Very nurturing, very caring, very overprotective, very supportive, of your children, okay? Whether this is a godchild of yours, this could also be a niece or a nephew. Or if this isn't you, being nurturing, caring towards your own children, you as an adult, I'm picking up on someone who has come across the path of someone who is like a mother figure in their life, okay? This person may be of no bloodline relation to you, but they're very supportive, they're very nurturing, they're someone that you can talk to even as an adult. You could be a parent yourself, and maybe from time to time you feel the need to connect with a mother-like energy. You could be someone who does not have a positive rapport with your biological mother, or you could have a parent or parental figure who has transitioned. They could be deceased. But either way, it looks like Spirit has placed someone new in your life, not to take their spot, but someone to refreshen the energy when it comes to you receiving a nurturing and caring vibe. I'm picking up maybe you have not experienced that in your childhood, in your upbringing, but you've done the best that you could, and now that you are grown, you are a parent of your own. You find yourself sometimes wanting to have someone to talk to, someone you can trust, someone to confide in, or just someone just to have conversation with, about different things, about raising children or about life periodically. And so that's what this energy is, this depiction here. This is you being very nurturing or caring over your own children, your niece, your nephew, this could be stepchildren. You could be a godparent as well. You could have a child that you love deeply, like they're your own. Or this could be you as an adult, and there's someone who you trust in the community, in your church, maybe a friend or associate who could be older than you or more experienced, than you. And this is someone you confide in and you have a lot of deep conversations with. You consider this person to be mother-like, okay? It may have not been communicated between the two of you, like you're my play mom, or, but that's the energy that you feel. Lots of love, lots of positive energy here. Lots of support. This could be someone, like I said, whom you call to confide in when different things are going on in your life. Whether it's with your children, your relationship, just different life experiences that we all have, okay? You're very close with your children. You could have children who are involved in a lot of leisure activity, play sports, basketball, football, gymnastics, dance, piano. You're very involved with your children. You're very supportive. You're a mom's mom, is what I'm hearing. You're a mom's mom. And because of who you are and your beautiful nature and your spirit, you could be a single father as well who's very nurturing to your children. You show up. You're always present. You work hard. You show up for everything. and you do it all by yourself. And because of who you are and all you have endured, it looks like if you have not come across this energy, spirit is placing someone in your life, not to take the place of your biological mother, but to give you the experience of the things you did not receive in your upbringing. How beautiful. I feel a lot of beautiful energy here. Just someone to make memories with, a friend like vibe. Okay, very innocent here, supportive, nurturing, someone who's likely to help you with the children. You needed a sitter, something came up. This is the person who would show up. This is the person you would trust. And like I said, this could be someone from your church, from your community, from your neighborhood. Okay. This could be just a friend, someone you've grown to know over time. Okay. And so with the star energy here, the star energy here, you feel very connected to this person. You can't put your finger on it, but there's a lot of like-minded energy. Even when you have conversations, I see someone who gathers for coffee. You could be a coffee drinker, someone who loves to have a cup of coffee in the morning. This person could also be someone who you communicate with. I was about to say the first person you talk to. But that could be for someone. This could be someone who you communicate with on a daily basis. But there's a lot of like-minded energy here, so much so with this star energy here. You feel this person makes you feel is like they're the missing piece of the puzzle. You're very grateful for the life that you have. You're grateful for your children. You love being a parent. But you have maybe always felt that there was a missing piece, and this person feels like they fulfills that spot in your life. You never thought that because you were an adult, you never thought that the day would come. Maybe when you were a young teenager, I'm picking up, maybe you desired to have maybe a godparent or a parental figure just to be there and be present for you and with you. And you never got a chance to just experience a mother's embrace or support, in life periodically. And once again, this person is not taking the place of your original biological mother, but the things you did not receive, this person is being placed in your life. When it comes to emotional support, when it comes to motivating, encouraging you to, keep your head in the game and don't give up, and everything's going to be all right. The little things in between that you did not get as a child, you're now receiving it in your adulthood. But I'm also picking up, which I love, that despite what you have experienced personally, you did not allow that to affect the way that you parent your child or your children. You're very involved. You're very close knit with your children. You're always there, to make sure everything is running smooth and sailing. Very responsible. I picked up that someone is a single father out here who's doing it all by themselves. You could have two or three children. Okay, you take very good care of yourself and your children. There may have been days where you have felt like the Nine of Swords, but you're very strong, you're very wise, very resourceful. It does not show, Spirit is saying. It does not show. When people see you or they see you with your children, they don't see this energy of this Nine of Swords. If there's something going on in your household, people aren't able. People don't know your business. You know how to keep home, and what's for out there is out there. But you're very private, and you know how to handle your business and keep things private. Okay. But the pain you have not endured, and I must repeat it again, it does not show with this Nine of Swords energy. You're very spiritually inclined and in tune, okay? You do believe it, that there is a higher power working for you on your behalf at all times. And all are welcome on this channel. It does not matter what your belief or your religious or cultural practices are. All are welcome on this channel. But you're very spiritually in tune, very grounded. You do have a connection with Source. That is what has gotten you this far, and it will take you further, Spirit is saying. Even when situations have failed, maybe financially or maybe emotionally in your life, like you wanted to let it go, you never did. You kept going. You always persevered, and you always found a way to persevere. And people know this about you. They may not say it to you, but people say this about you behind your back, which is a compliment. That wow, the collective really knows how to hold it together. As I said, you're very private with your personal life. You don't go around, if there's a bill due and you don't have the money for it, you're not going around gossiping or talking about it. You're looking for solutions to get it taken care of, and that's that. Whether it's making payment arrangements, whether it's going to payday advance, that's that. But you're very wise, when it comes to maintaining, and survival. Very wise, very smart. You have massive faith. I'm hearing massive faith. Never heard that? Massive faith. Your faith is huge. Okay? You or someone around you could have Taurus placements in their chart. No matter what's going on or what it looks like, you're someone who's very responsible. You're very punctual when it comes to paying your bills on time. If you have a savings set up for your children for college or a rainy day fund, whatever it is, you're very punctual. You're very studious. You're very on time with it. You don't make excuses. These traits of being extremely responsible, are paying off for you with the Three of Wands. You could be planning a trip, planning to go on a trip. You may be taking this friend or this mother figure, this person who you respect and honor as a mother figure, or this could be a father figure as well. This could be someone who's in your life who's like a father to you, okay, like a godparent to you, even though you are an adult, okay. This is someone who has your back, when things, get slow or short, or you just need someone to talk to. I'm getting, it's more emotional support, something about emotional support. Okay, this could be someone you hang out with, good hanging buddy, you shop with this person, it's family like, okay? They're not no blood relation, but it's family like. You enjoy each other's company, and I'm going back to this coffee. Someone loves coffee. So maybe you and this person go out to have coffee a lot, or maybe they bring you a cup of coffee to your house, or you go purchase a cup for them and go visit them. But I'm getting you're planning a vacation, and possibly, this godparent is going with you on this trip. You could be taking your children along with you. This could be a road trip. Maybe you're planning to travel somewhere just to get away, or maybe you're traveling to go see family or friends in another state somewhere. You have a lot of respect and honor for this person, and they respect and honor you. Now I'm picking up that when people see you two together, this is not for everybody. This is for someone. You have had people assume that you were a couple, but you're not. I'm seeing a female figure and a male figure, maybe older in age, and maybe when people see you together, they assume that you are a couple, but you're not. This person is actually like a godparent to you. They're, more friend like. This is not someone that you're dating or that you slept with. But you have had people assume that. That's not for everyone. This person is around a lot. This could also be someone that loves your cooking. And because they are around, people assume things. Maybe even neighbors assume that there's something going on, which is none of their business anyway, right? It's none of their business. But either way, this person, is filling the void for you when it comes to emotional support. I'm picking up emotional support. It's not a financial thing. but they're likely to be the one if you did need to borrow some money, who would, if they had it, would lend it to you. But I'm picking up that this is extremely emotional support. You're very responsible. When it comes to taking care of you and your family, you know how to put first things first. But this person has been sent and put in your life to bring harmony and more cohesiveness. When it comes to experiencing life and experiencing what it is to be family like, what it is to be family oriented. You may have had parental figures, coming up as a youth, but maybe they were not doing their job or fulfilling their description. Maybe you were someone who had a parental figure whose attention was somewhere else rather than on being a parent. Okay. Maybe they were oblivious to their duties as a parent, or maybe they chose to parent you the way their parents chose to parent them, and it trickled down. Okay. But with you, I'm picking up collective, you're breaking this generational curse. Of how parenting should be done, of how a parental figure should be emotionally supportive to their child, nurturing, caring, loving, and supporting. I'm picking up that you're breaking that cycle. And so, Spirit has placed this person in your life to let you have that experience. It can't make up for everything that you missed out, but just to give you, how can I say this? The experience of what it would be like, to have that. Okay. But you're breaking this curse, this cycle in the family. There may be a pattern in your family where there's a lot of maternal dysfunction between maybe your cousins and their parents, throughout your family. Maybe this is something that you have reflected on, the patterns in your family, the cycles. And you've probably said, wow, this is not only just me. My cousin so and so doesn't get along with their parent. My cousin so and so, yeah. So you're breaking the cycle. And so that is simply beautiful. Okay. Simply beautiful. Because a lot of people experience, uh, trauma from their childhood, especially anything dealing with a maternal figure. And some people are unable to overcome what they have experienced. But you did not let it stop you from being a wonderful parent. You did not let it stop you from being nurturing and showing emotional support to your own children. Because I'm seeing a parent who is very involved in all the right ways, showing up to PTA meetings, being involved in any school projects, spending leisure time with your children outside of school, going to have fun, playing catch, I see someone doing it all. You may even pull your children in the kitchen and cook with them from time to time, spending quality time, making memories, making sure that you leave the energy of letting your children know that they are loved and they are supported. And if ever they feel that things are too heavy, that they do have someone to come to, that they're not on their own. So I think that is simply beautiful. That is so beautiful. It's very tough. We all are different people, but you did not allow the things that were inflicted and projected onto you. You did not choose to use that as a crutch, because so many people will say, I was raised that way. Well, I was raised that way. Yeah, but once you become an adult, you have free will. So despite the way you were raised, you have free will to change it. The more and more birthdays you have, it doesn't have to stay the same. Okay? So you're very mindful, collective, of your energy as well. You could have been someone who was also raised in a household full of people who were temperamental, People who were anxious, full of anxiety, hostile, a lot of disputes, confrontations taking place in front of you as a small child. And this may have impacted you in a major way. Even if you were told to go to your room, you still heard the yelling and the screaming. This has affected and impacted your ability to experience happiness. And that's what this new energy of this person being placed in your life is about. Spirit wants you to experience this happiness. We cannot get back the past, but we can, stay present and make choices, that are positive and for our highest good. And I see that you are making healthy choices, You are standing in your consciousness at this time. You're not allowing your past to be a crutch or a reason to say that's why. There are some things that occurred that you weren't satisfied with, and you chose to make changes. Okay. What else the collective needs to know? Starting breaking this generational curse, showing emotional support, being a great parent, and this new parental figure, a godparent, I would want to say, in their life. Parental figure, something. 1 second, ladies and gentlemen. You chose to put a stop to the madness. You chose to put a stop to any and all things that have made you feel bitter or angry or hostile. I'm also picking up you chose to make a change because you refuse to allow what you've been through to paralyze you. But I'm also picking up there's someone else close to you who you have witnessed and observed, who was not able to heal or overcome how they were treated or what they experienced or observed as a child. This could be someone close to you. This could be a relative. Maybe this took a mental toll on them. Maybe they were unable to come back, or heal from those things or move forward in life, I'm hearing, okay? This could be someone that the family could possibly look at and judge and maybe call them crazy or there's something wrong with them. When reality is this person just wants to be acknowledged, that the way that they were raised was improper and it did affect them. It impacted their life in a major way. You were determined to be successful, and you still are. You're determined to be successful, and you're determined to be happy, despite your upbringing, which you have experienced, and you want your children to be happy as well. And so I see you finding alternative ways, to transmute negative energy, any negative impact. You're very creative. Someone loves arts and crafts. You have chosen to surrender this energy that does not serve you. You have chosen to let it go in order to move forward and so that you can be a great parent to your children. In order to be present, you understand that you must be, working on your alignment and working towards your higher self in order to progress. And this is something that you have a full understanding of. And as I said earlier, you're very spiritually inclined. You're very connected. You don't mind talking about reality and the truth. With illumination here, there are a lot of people who have a problem with the truth. They become upset. They get disturbed. It stirs up their demons. It pees them off. Especially, I'm picking up these family members. The other relative that you witness experiencing some kind of hardship in their upbringing. They maybe have became angry, with this relative because they wanted to address what occurred. This could have been something that happened that was very improper with them at a young age. And you could be from a family or Maybe there's one or two people in your family who wanted to sweep it under the rug, like, shh, let's not talk about that, okay? And so that energy there, it just does not resonate with anyone who stands in illumination. Whistleblowers, those who like to stand in their truth and speak on the truth. Um, some people rather just stand on a rug of lies than stand in the truth or reality. And so this relative wanting to illuminate what they experience kind of created friction within the family and possibly caused the family to turn their back on them. But it also caused this relative who went through this to go into some kind of state of depression. And so that's what I meant when I said there's someone close to you you witnessed go through something that you did not want to experience because you knew you had children to raise and a life that is worth living. Okay? You may have told, these family members or these people who have, projected or left any negative imprint, on your spirit, regarding your life and your upbringing. You may have told them to give you space. You may have told these people that they are not welcome. You're very straightforward and down to earth and outspoken, and this is good. That's a positive. There's no need to pretend or lie, or go along to get along. I'm picking up that's just your energy. You're straight to the point. You tell it like it is. If you got to hurt a few feelings on the way, so be it. You can't run around in life being a care bear. That's just not going to work. A people pleaser, trying to please everyone. That's just not going to work. It's not going to settle the problem. It will not bring any resolution. And so the moment you told them to give space, by your energy no longer being around this family, they feel like the energy is now, it's dead. The energy is different. People miss your presence, people miss your energy. Uh, but you chose to move forward. You're no longer a child. You are a full grown adult. You have free will. So it was time for you to put the sadness to rest, and what happened in the past to rest. And in order for you to do that, you came to the agreement. You made the executive decision to move on and move forward expeditiously. Confirmation, swift and accurate. Okay. As I was just saying, a lot of people will use different excuses to stay in bad situations. And sometimes that excuse could be, this is my family. I can't leave my family, even though they've hurt you or caused you this pain. When reality is you're not indebted to anyone, Source will not love you any less because you choose not to be used or mistreated or allow yourself to be in environments around people, places, and things that just don't serve you. And so you made the right choice, by just separating yourself. And I'm also picking up that they have a firm understanding of why. Okay? They know why. They know that they have caused you pain. There could be people in regret, of what they have put you through. It was funny when they were doing it, but when the karma kicks in and the shift begins, it's not so funny. It's not so kiki. So there could be people in regret because they know about the pain that they caused you, and now they're looking at you and you're abundant, you're prosperous, you're happy, you've moved on. They could be aware of this BFF or this godparent, this person you have in your life now that's like mother-like or father-like. They could be aware of this person. It could also be a little jealousy and envy of how close you are. There could be gossip going on about that, but who cares? But they could envy that. If your parents are still alive, your parental figure could envy that. Like they can't replace me. They're around my grandkids more than I'm around my grandchildren. That kind of energy. But they know why. They know what they've done and what they cost you. So they're sitting in sadness now, regretting how they treated you. And they may not say it and don't expect it or look for it. But you're receiving confirmation, not a coincidence, that the people that did cross you, and disrespect you or disregard you, they are aware. People know what they're doing. People know collective. Okay? They feel like you have just ghosted them. You're no longer around. You could have been the one that showed up, to all the family gatherings. You were the laughter, the life of the party, but you're no longer, allowing yourself to be used or treated any kind of way. Some may pretend, as if it's a mystery. They don't know why. I don't know why the collective is acting like this. I don't understand what is happening. But they're pump faking. They know what's going on. They know what they've done. They're well aware. They know what they have done. They know because it has been illuminated. They know. Years ago and even recently, more than once. Okay? And so you're trusting spirit. You're relying on the spiritual rather than the physical. You know where your value lies, and who to trust and where to put your trust. You're not allowing anyone to use you or walk over you. Or allow you to wear rose-colored glasses, and you know better. You have free will. You're an adult now. You're not stuck. This is not an Eight of Swords situation. You have free will. You're not going to go around saying, oh, I was raised like that, when you have free will to change it. So you're trusting source. You're trusting the Christ within you. And you're not disregarding it. You could also be finding out that you're very intuitive as well. And so you're working on your gifts. This could be something that your family has known about you as well. Okay. And so you're trusting your intuition. You could have been given a download or a message telling you to separate yourself from your family because of the things that they have been involved in, as well as the pain that they have inflicted upon you. Your ancestors and your spirit guides wanted you to move forward and separate yourself so that you can begin your healing process. Okay? And so we all have our own ancestors, okay? That's for somebody that needs to know that. We all have our own guardian angel. That's for somebody who needs to know that watching this video. Oh, it gets deep. When you're talking about spirituality, it gets deep. There's so much up under the umbrella. So much. Okay? So this concludes the read. I trust and hope it assists you for your highest good. Later.